Well, here we are at the Darren Park, and finally, after many years of trying, we have the new changing rooms being built as I speak. And then people say to me, well, if we're having new changing rooms, shouldn't we have a new surface here and bring football back to Ferndale? Something I totally agree. But there's a problem. If we do have a 3G field, it means that this has to be fenced off. And unless you're part of an association or a team or booked it, it would mean that you wouldn't have any access to this field. So another alternative has to be made, and I see that as being the cow field. So here we are at the cow field, which is here. And the only way a 3G can go on the Darren Park surface is that something would have to be done here. And the only way I could see it is possibly some sort of raised platform, because it is a floodplain for the lake, and maybe put an astroturf like they got under Darren Park onto a raised area, but at the same time leaving room for dog walkers who can still walk their dogs around the area. Just behind me you can see the new build of the new changing rooms, and what we really need next to those changing rooms are brand new toilets. What would be wonderful up here, when we could get it done, which would be amazing, would be a small cafe. As you can see, that the bowling green now is looking fantastic. It's not quite there yet, but the boys have done a magnificent job on getting this bowling green back to where it should be. The only thing missing now is an upgrade on this bowling pavilion. As you can see, the payments here in High Street are dreadful, and I have spoke to the council in the past, and ideally they need to be all ripped up and restart again. As you can see, with the amount of cars that we've had coming around this corner, another reason why we need the road from Pontegwaith to Maerdy is the emissions are too high, which is not good for us or the environment. Just behind me here is the Ferndale care home, and it's essential we keep this, and we fought hard to keep it. But what it needs is, well, we really need a new care home, because if there's an upgrade in this care home, it reduces the amount of rooms, and there are sites where we could have one, and we deserve one. Here we are at Greenwood Park, home for Ferndale Rugby Club and other teams that want to use it because it is a council ground. But if we just look through the fence here, we can see from the gate that what's really needed is a concrete path around for access for wheelchairs and prams. Now the council already know that this is a proposal from the rugby club, so let's hope we can get that done. When I'm stood now, the council have ideas of building a bicycle pump track, but it's about half a mile down towards Tylerstown, equal to a pit stop garage on the main road, which will serve Ferndale and Tylerstown. Now, in my opinion, it's quite narrow there, and on top of that, as you can see, I'm on this gate here, and if anything was to happen down the bottom there, then emergency vehicles wouldn't have access down there. Plus, for so far down there, do you know my honest opinion? I think it'd be a white elephant. Now, if we have a look at this area where I'm stood here, you can see it's a very wide area, and it goes right from there, right across, and can go higher again. And I think this is the place where a bicycle pump track should be, which will serve Ferndale and Blaenllechau. Just behind me is the Ferndale hub. And in there now is the library, and Little Ferns do childcare in there. But it's just a shame that in this building, to help people with the cost of living crisis, we couldn't get Flying Start in there as well. And here I am in Blaenllechau, otherwise known as Blaenllechau Road, or as I knew it when I was growing up, was Club Row. And if you have a look down that road there, what we desperately need in Blaenllechau is traffic calming measures. This is the entrance to Wynn Street, which has recently had flooding, and it's been flooded now 3 times, and it needs to be investigated, as does Rhondda Terrace. Well, here I am in Maerdy, and just behind me was the old Maerdy Infant School, and I thought, wouldn't this be fantastic to have a skate park for the younger generation in Maerdy? So I rang the council. We're making inquiries on who now owns this land. The council sold it in 2011, but a gentleman in Edinburgh now owns it. So if there's a chance of tracking him down, we can see if we can get the land back. Just behind me is Maerdy paddling pool, and this has been kept open by the community. And I would be helping to raise funds for that by doing a show in Maerdy. That would be easy to do, so to make sure that this will always be open. Well, here I am at Maerdy Bowls Green here behind me, and the pavilion is just there. And I had a meeting this week with the Bowls Club, Peter Blake and a few others. And up until Jack finished, he's going to be finishing next week, Jack Harris. Jack did a brilliant job by getting a higher fence which is needed here. And so what I'll be doing, I've been following that up. I have left messages with the council, so hopefully we'll find out over the next few days of when this fence is going to be made higher. Here I am, stood on the old entrance to Maerdy Colliery, and I think this is the key to the whole Rhondda Bach. This is where it could be incredible, with pump tracks, downhill tracks, we can have boating, it lends itself to everything. I've been making inquiries with the council to find out what parts the council own, but I think this is the key to everything. Because if we're going to encourage tourism and everything else, if you look across here, just across the way, we've got the Cynnon Valley who can come here, it just opens itself up. They've got the Dare Valley, Clydach have got the country park up there. This is the key to Maerdy and the Rhondda Bach. Well, we've had a journey over the last couple of films, you know, showing the spend in Cynnon Valley and the spend in Rhondda Bach, which I still say is the forgotten valley. And today, you know, people have been asking me, well, what would you do? So we made this little film to show what I'd like to see happen, you know. But the most important thing is, out of it all, you know, we need that bypass road. Because without the bypass road, there's going to be very little future for the younger generation. I've gone round what I think should be in Maerdy, you know, and Ferndale and Blaenllechau, skate parks and everything else. And on top of all that, we need more enforcement officers to look at litter, dog fouling in particular, and fly tipping. We want to make this community the best, and I will do my utmost, should I be fortunate enough to be elected, on May the 5th, I will fight your corner for Ferndale, Blaenllechau and Maerdy. And like I say, some of the things we've done today, we've already been onto the council to approve. So let's see what happens. It's your choice. Everything is in your hands. You can make the changes with the right person.